Do mods excuse a game's flaws? Do the existence of mods prop up a crap game and save it from the bargain bin? And does the existence of mods invalidate any criticism towards the game? The short answers are no, no, and hell no, but of course, you probably would like a little more explanation than that, wouldn't you? What's up guys, Acerthorn here, and welcome to another video where I explain why I run the channel the way I do. It seems I've been doing a lot of these lately. After all, my channel is starting to grow. It seems I'm getting quite a lot of new viewers who aren't quite familiar with how I do things, so it seems I have to constantly explain this crap to them. Anyway, to veterans of my channel, I should point out that I will not be raising any new arguments in this video that I haven't already raised in my Skyrim retrospective video, especially the section dedicated to mods, as well as my video Why Bethesda Isn't Actually Becoming EA with sources. If you already seen both of those videos, you already know exactly what I'm gonna say here, so you can just go ahead and click away, or better yet, don't click away, but instead watch the video through to give me watch time and audience retention, just like I mentioned in my video about supporting the channel without donating. So some of you might reasonably ask, if I've already said this, why am I repeating myself? Well, the long and short of it is, because I kind of already am repeating myself anyway. People who see my New Vegas or Morrowind retrospective videos before they see anything else on the channel keep posting these damn comments, saying that my criticisms about these games are frivolous because I can just mod the game. I find this argument to be rather rich, considering that I've seen lots of comments on people's videos trashing Skyrim and Fallout 4, where those commenters scoff at the presence of mods as doing the developer's job for them. Anyway, these numerous commenters probably don't realize that I've already rebutted these arguments 1,000 times before, and not bothering to check out my other videos where I've provided the counter-arguments. Now, to be fair, I don't blame them for that last part, since they honestly have no way of knowing that these two videos contain counter-arguments to their positions. I mean, it's not like I have a video whose title and thumbnail purport on their face to tackle this issue. Until now. Now, whenever anyone posts this argument for the millionth time, I can just give them a link to this video and be done with it. So, without any further ado, let's get underway. So let's start with the most obvious question on everyone's mind. When does the existence of mods excuse a game's flaws? Well, the answer is neither never nor always. Mods can excuse a game's flaws if those flaws are few in quantity and individually small. There are, however, instances where the presence of mods is like adding sprinkles to a turd, and that is when the game's flaws without mods are either numerous or each one is individually egregious. Take, for example, the ROM hack communities for two Super NES games. One is Super Mario World, which, as of the time of this writing, which for the record is November 10th, 2020, has at least 1,385 ROM hacks supporting it. I say at least because this is only one ROM hack hosting website. The first one I found in a Google search when I searched for Super Mario World ROM hacks. So there's got to be more out there. Meanwhile, over at romhacking.net, the first general ROM hack site that appears in Google search results when I search for general ROM hack sites, Super Mario World currently has 197 ROM hacks, including 2 that came out literally earlier this month. By contrast, let's take a look at one of the most notorious games on the Super NES, Shaq Fu. At the aforementioned romhacking.net, I found that Shaq Fu had literally just one single solitary ROM hack for it. Even then, this one ROM hack for the game doesn't even offer anything truly unique. Literally, its entire sales pitch is, hey, this is Shaq Fu, except it isn't shit. Now, let's think for a minute. Why would Super Mario World have such an active and thriving ROM hack community that is still going strong even to this day? While Shaq Fu, the game that could most benefit from a modding community ironing out all its problems, is practically a ghost town? The answer is obvious, because Super Mario World is already a good game to begin with. Because it is such a good game from day one, it developed an enormous fan base, whereas Shaq Fu only developed a reputation for being one of the worst games of all time. Because Super Mario World had such a huge fan base, a portion of that fan base both had the desire to and knew how to make ROM hacks for the game, and because that game's fan base was so large, that meant that even if only a small percentage of its fan base were both able and willing to make ROM hacks for the game, that is still quite a lot of ROM hack developers. So, with this knowledge in mind, we can turn to the next question for today's video. Does the existence of mods encourage the developers to be lazy in their game design? Does it encourage companies like Bethesda to intentionally half-ass it on the expectation that modders will fix whatever problems the game has so they don't have to do half the work themselves? The answer to that question is a hard and fast no. Because if the games weren't good to begin with, nobody would give enough of a shit about the game to support a modding community. Take, for example, Rogue Warrior, arguably Bethesda's most disappointing game, with maybe the exception of Fallout 76, but that game didn't even allow mods at launch at all. This is the page for ModDB, the first site I found on Google when I searched for Rogue Warrior mods. As you can see, there is not even so much as one single solitary mod for this game. Why is that? Because, like Shaq Fu, it sucked. Compare that to games like Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, and Fallout 4, all of which tend to receive the most criticism for supposedly relying on their modding community to do Bethesda's job for them. You will notice from these screenshots on Metacritic that all 4 of those games got very outstanding Metacritic scores, and these reviews, which make up these scores, were all reviewing the game in its vanilla state. Not just their vanilla state, but their day one state as well, without any of the post-release patches to fix all the bugs. These games were not trash without mods. To the contrary, they were so good in their original states that they sold like hotcakes, to the point where there was a big enough fan base that, even if only a small percentage of that fan base became modders, that's still a lot of modders. Now, some of you with keen eyes have most likely noticed something in the screenshots I just showed you, and are feverishly typing a rebuttal comment down below. Fallout 4, a game which I adore, got an 84 on its Metacritic score, which is the same that New Vegas got on its score. We know New Vegas got an 84 on its Metacritic score because that's part of this game's infamy. So why am I giving Fallout 4 a pass for relying so heavily on its mods, while shitting on New Vegas without considering its modding community? Well, the short answer is, I'm not. What did we literally just talk about? I literally just said that Fallout 4 isn't good because its modding community props it up. I just got finished saying the complete opposite. That mods can make a good game better, but they can't save a bad game from mediocrity. So that naturally raises a follow-up question. When is a game good enough that mods can enhance it, and when is it so bad that mods are like putting sprinkles on a turd? That is a very good question. However, it's one you're not going to like the answer to. So, anyone who is easily butthurt needs to click away right now before I scratch your paper-thin skin. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, are all the thin-skinned wusses gone now? Okay, here's the answer. There is no objective formula to determine if a game is good enough to be enhanced by mods. It is all completely subjective. Some people think my distaste for New Vegas' exceptionally brown graphics is nitpicky and that I'm not giving this game a fair shake. They argue that I should just mod the game to have whatever graphics I want, and that my failure to do so is simply unfair of me. These people believe that the game is so good in all the other fields that this one flaw is easily overlookable. I disagree. I believe the game has a lot more flaws than just the bland graphics, and I've detailed why I feel this way in my New Vegas retrospective. Some people believe that Skyrim's reliance on Radiant quests rather than creating actual content for the game causes the game to become boring and repetitive. Once again, I disagree. I believe the Radiant quests in Skyrim serve to enhance the game and its quest lines rather than replace the handcrafted quest system altogether. Some people believe that Fallout 4's numerous bugs, especially at launch, should have heavily brought down the game's overall quality. Once again, I disagree. The game had its bugs, but the game also had great characters and an open, massive world. But here's the bottom line. Whether the game's problems, whether those problems be massive or individually egregious, whether they all add up to make the game so unenjoyable overall that mods simply cannot save them, is ultimately a matter of opinion. Most importantly, it's a matter of your opinion. And the thing you need to keep in mind about your opinion is, it might not align with my opinion. It might not align with his opinion. It might not align with her opinion. That's the thing about opinions, they're like anuses. Or ani, I suppose? We've all got one. Some of us even have two. If you love New Vegas and want to completely suck that game's dick, then be my guest. You do you. I am not saying you're not allowed to love New Vegas, and I'm not saying you aren't allowed to not enjoy Oblivion, Skyrim, or Fallout 4. This is my channel, in case you didn't know, so I will give you my asshole in each video, and if you can't share your asshole while respecting my asshole, well then you are not welcome to debate assholes on this channel. So that leads me to my next main argument. I would like to set a hard and fast rule on this debate. No matter how much the modding community may fix the game's flaws, and no matter how minor or infrequent the game's flaws might be in the first instance, you should never, under any circumstances, claim that a reviewer's criticism of the game is invalid simply because a mod can fix the issue. That is one issue that I am absolutely going to put my foot down on. As a reviewer, it is my job to give you my opinion of the game as is. If I have to modify the game in any way, shape, or form to enjoy it more, that just means the out-of-the-box experience failed to live up to the hype. If the out-of-the-box experience fails to live up to the hype, then the out-of-box experience deserves to get a bad review. It's as simple as that. Under no circumstances should external fixes by third parties be used to undermine the validity of a critic's review, period. So that is my belief in the validity of using mods in consideration of the review. Do they encourage developers to half-ass it in game development on the expectation that the modders will fix whatever problems the game has, no matter how egregious? No. Does the existence of mods excuse the game's flaws? Not really. Does the existence of mods prop up a bad game? No. Does the existence of mods invalidate the criticisms that critics level at the game? Fucking hell, absolutely not. And whether or not a game is bad enough that mods can't save it, well, only you can decide that for yourself. Just listen to your asshole while respecting the assholes of everyone else. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Acer Thorn out. Peace.